right, joining me now with reaction is Dan Bongino, Fox News contributor, and Monique Pressley, Democratic strategist. And then we're going to be talking to a whole host of great guests, so stay right there. Dan, who is the biggest political violator here, the top member of the political Hall of Shame?
You know, I'm going to go back to the beginning, Laura, and I'm going to call out Brian Stelter, or as Tucker calls him, the eunuch, over at CNN. And I'll tell you why. Mark Levin, a long time ago, brought up the fact that there may have been a FISA warrant to spy on the Trump team. Laura, remember, a couple of years ago, that was considered a controversial point. Was there a FISA warrant? Now we already know this. It seems like old news. But when Mark Levin called that out in the beginning, Stelter called him a conspiracy theorist, insinuating he was somehow crazy. So Brian Stelter is the founder of the feast when it comes initially to this propagating this nonsense Russian collusion theory.
Monique, Hakeem Jeffries, congressman, was on Face the Nation yesterday before the Barr letter was fully released, said this.
The American people deserve to know whether Donald Trump is either A, a legitimate president, B, a Russian asset, C, the functional equivalent of an organized crime boss, or D, just a useful idiot who happens to have been victimized by the greatest collection of coincidences in the history of the Republic.
Monique, why does your party seem to be in denial tonight?
What's the denial? Isn't he still possibly all for? I don't know anything about the Barr letter, the 4-page letter that I wrote that is not even a summary of the 800-page report that I'm still waiting to see from the special prosecutor that would tell me that he's not a useful idiot. I think he said plenty of things directly out of his mouth that would prove that would tell me he's not a Russian asset. He sits next to Vladimir Putin, and he has all the compliments in the world for him while he degrades his own Central Intelligence Agency. I have no idea whether he's actually a functional president or not, because when he had both houses of Congress and a presidency, he couldn't get done any of the things that you said he should start trying to do now. Okay. So for me, I was never really waiting for this report, Laura. Okay. I'm waiting to have a real president of the United States. And if he shows up right now, I'll be the happiest person.
Hold on. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, Dan. He was never a legitimate president because they don't like his ideas. Okay, so now
because Russia. Because of Russia.
You got your time. Hold on.
Right.
So
I mean, Russia's still in there, right?
Don't talk over me. That's why people turn off cable news. This is what, Dan, the Democrats have refused to admit. At least you have some people out there who, like Matt Taibbi, who has not said nice things about this network, or a lot of people that I really love. But he goes out there and he writes this exhaustive piece saying, this could be the end of journalism. People have to wake up to see what just happened here. This is the WMD story of the last couple of years, but like a million times worse. He's a big liberal, and he came out and he said, mea culpa, maxima culpa. And the other ones are like, the hands in front of their face, no, it's not there. For the life of me, I don't see how this is a winning strategy for the Democrats. I understand how it might feel good, but how is that a winning strategy?
Yeah, it's not. You know, I'm sorry, but that was an embarrassing display by Monique. I'm glad you put that out there, but I don't know if you seem to have a grasp of the facts in the case. I mean, Mueller was sold to us as the great messiah and the savior of the left. They spent $35 million. They had, what, 19 lawyers, 14 FBI agents, 2,800 subpoenas, 500-plus interviews, 13 foreign trips, and came up with a summation of a report that said in no uncertain terms, not only did Trump not collude, his campaign didn't collude, and let me read, I don't know, you may not have read it, no American citizen colluded. And then we get the whole, well, he sat next to Putin. Was that after he cut off the Nord Stream pipeline, or is that where this military gave the order to wipe out the 200 Russian mercs, or was that when they armed Ukraine to fight the Russians? You know, the one thing about Democrats is they have what we call the vaccination. They've been vaccinated against facts, Laura, and when you hit them with the facts, they have no response. The next thing, Trump will be a xenophobe or a racist. They don't come back with anything that actually matters. So I appreciate that display, but it was a little embarrassing.
Yeah, I have a question here, Monique. If the Democrats were right here, and this whole report, the synopsis of the report, is mischaracterizing what Mueller found. I mean, Mueller's a pretty smart guy. He's a team of really experienced prosecutors, whether they're Democrats or not, doesn't even matter at this point. But do you not think one of them would have come out and said, whoa, whoa? Attorney General Barr. That's not
don't,
what we concluded. Or do you think they're in on it?
I think, you know, my able colleague on the other side maybe added words to what I said. I think that Mueller is capable. I said this morning on Tom Joyner Morning Show, the fact that he didn't overreach makes him more credible to me, not less. Where he says that Trump is not, that he didn't have enough information to find that he was guilty of obstruction, but he didn't find enough information to clear him. I think that that's sound. As a lawyer, I approve of him taking that approach. What I am saying is the Russians still interfered in our election unless we're missing that in the 800 pages, right? So when I say that Trump's presidency isn't legitimate, it doesn't have to do with whether he was the person who was actually hacking into the DNC or not. It has to do with the actual facts. And maybe we don't want to hear about those facts right now. That's not what everybody's
been saying over the last 2 years.
I don't care about anybody else. I'm just talking about the words out of my mouth. I'm only talking about the things I said.
Okay, panel, thank you. Look, China's been trying